Meanwhile, back at the ranch, so I uploaded a video, the problems I had with the MB-5, and I pointed out that there weren't enough turns on the string at the nut to get an angle at the tuning peg to get the angle from the nut to go down the way. So the strings tended to buzz. Not buzzing now. Unfortunately, I put the E and the A string on the wrong way round. So I had to swap them back over, and I've now chopped off more on the A string than I wanted to. But the A string runs underneath that little string tensioner thing there. The G there's something there, so I've not attached the little metal bar yet, but that's definitely going to be put on to try to pull the strings down a little bit. I think it'd possibly be better with one or two of them, but again, it's a cheap bass. It's a £5 upgrade. I don't think it's the end of the world if I put a couple of holes in it. Things already a bit bashed about. Also, with the bass, you get two Allen keys. That's terrible. One for adjusting the truss rod, which is in here, and a thinner one for doing the saddles on the bridge in there. So the action wise, these are much lighter strings. I'd imagine it wouldn't put as much tension. So where's the 12? So there's a 12th fret there. And you know what, I can actually live with that. It's a bit higher than I want, but because the strings are light gauge, it's not really picking up too well. It's low enough to get a bit more speed out at the B string rather. There's the 12th fret. I don't use it very much, and there's not a lot of point above the 4th fret on a low string using the B string, is it? So I think just now I'm quite happy with the fact there's a big action in there, because it's quite a loose thing and it does wobble about a bit. So when I put the strings on, I got this straight edge. Put it across the neck, and I noticed at the 12th fret the neck was bowing up the way, which could have been causing some of the problems. So I put that on, got the Allen key for the truss rod, gave it maybe half a turn that way. I did it over I did it a couple of times, just little quarter turns, eighth turns. I had to release the tension on the A string, pop that out, take it over that side to get the Allen key in, gave it like a eighth or a quarter turn. Did that 2 or 3 times until I took the straight edge back on, and now it's sitting. There is no bow in the neck. I'll check that again in a week or two. The temperature in Scotland and the dampness could possibly affect that. So I'm not a luthier by any stretch of imaginations. I chanced my luck a little bit. Adjusting the thrust rod is something I'm not very comfortable with. I didn't twist it around a couple of times or anything. As I say, it probably went from about there to there. and it's changed the profile on the neck enough for me to think it's set up a little bit better. I've not set the base up doing the tuning or anything, but I would say that worked. Hopefully when I put the little metal bar back up here, everything should be cool in the gang. Other issue, the new strings that I bought, the hole in the back of the bridge isn't drilled out to let it go through, and as ever been a maniac and been in a bit of a rush, I tried using the tuning peg to put enough tension on the low B to pull that through, and now I've ended up scratching the bass. I've not modified basses, I don't play bass very often, so I'm not actually bothered. Maybe get a Sharpie in there. But I'm going to have to take the low B string back out and ream that hole with a drill bit so the string sits in better. I'm going to call that a success. It's a bit out of tune, isn't it? I'm going to call that a bit of a success. Yeah, apart from the tune. So if anyone has one, thinking of buying one, as I said already, they are not. There's a reason a 5-string Music Man bass would cost £2,000, and there's reasons this one costs 120. The tuning pegs are quite cheap. The bridge is really quite cheap. However, for £120, with both the coils and the pickup turned up and the tone control up full, it does have the farty Music Man bright poppy sound that we all know and love. So that's me attempting to modify my bass. Should you do this to your bass? I wouldn't. I'm not a luthier. I've not done this type of stuff before, but the steel bar was a £5. I bought it from a local tool shop, and he had an engineer's straight edge. The engineer's straight edge was 65 quid, and this was £5. What we did was I asked the guy to pull the engineer straight edge out the packet, and we lined this one up with the £65 micron toleranced metal bar that an engineer would use, and this worked for what I needed it to do. It looked fine. So if that was of interest to anybody, you can say thank you. My YouTube channel's all over the place. There's a little bit of building stuff in it. I built a recording studio. I'm doing some recording. There's some vehicle repair stuff in there, some crap political takes, and lots of cat videos. So if you like this type of content, don't be frightened to rate, subscribe, comment, and all that type of stuff. And if it has been any use to you, or any of the Harley Benton videos have been used to you, give us a little thumbs up. I don't make money from the channels. I may make some cash someday, but thanks for watching anyway. Alrighty.